One of the frustrating and challenging things in life that I have discovered, and maybe you too, is that there seems to be a disparity between whether you should be good or bad. A lot of people say, oh, Jesse, it's obvious we're supposed to be good. Well, yes, generally speaking. But then, if your experience has been anything like mine, you'll find that a lot of people often and actually respect the bad boy more. They like the bad boy more, right? That whole image of the bad boy and living on the edge and being wild and breaking all the rules. And so you try that for a while, and then you find out, well, if you take it too far, that doesn't work very well. And so then you're like, well, I want to be good. But then you go back, let's say you go back to church and you try to be really, really good. You hear a bunch of sermons that say, well, you should be good. You should be good, be good, be good. God wants you to be good. Jesus wants you to be good. So you try really, really super hard for a long time to be good. And then somebody will come along, some deep thinking preacher or deeply spiritual preacher, and say, well, being good is not really all it's cracked up to be. And Jesus is unimpressed by it, and they'll show you in the Bible where no one is really good, and they'll show you in the Bible how you can't be good. And so at the end of the day, you're left going, okay, am I supposed to be good? Am I supposed to be bad? And then you got the people who, they mock the good people, the goody two-shoes, and they say, oh, self-righteous and blah, blah, blah. So you get all these things going on, and at the end of the day, you're like, should I be good or should I be bad? And I really don't friggin' feel like I want to do either one. And that's the key right there. Because we are not made for that battle. Human beings are not created to be stuck in that battle between good and bad. It's not what we're made for. How do I know? I know because in the Bible, in the very beginning, the first story of the Bible, it shows what we're created for. We're created for love and living. The first story in the Bible talks about Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and it's my opinion that the story is not literal. It could be. But the important thing, whether it's literal or metaphorical or figurative, is what it teaches us. It teaches us that human beings are originally created to just live a life where they're just living in relationship and in love with your Creator, with God. Okay? In the Bible, it says they were doing this for a few days. That could be very metaphorical. They could have lived there for hundreds of thousands of years. We don't know, right? All the literalists I just lost them, I understand. But I'm going to speak anyways. So the point is that story teaches us that human beings are originally created to live in love and life. And there was no knowledge of good and evil. Check it out. It's right there in the Bible if you don't believe me. Okay? So when did things go wrong? When they partook of the knowledge of good and evil. That's a key. That's a clue. So when you find yourself stuck in that tension between good and evil, being good doesn't work and nobody likes it. Being bad doesn't work and nobody likes it. Well, why? Because human beings are not made to be good or evil. Neither one. That's why nobody really likes either one. I mean, some people like one and some people like the other, but right? The point is that either one you try, you go to either extreme and they fail. So what's the solution? The solution is to return to that mode of living that's just life. Living in love with God, and you just live and you get rid of the knowledge of good and evil, or rather you leave that realm of good and evil and you enter the realm of life where you just live. Well, how do you do that? You do that by returning to relationship with your Creator. You do it by returning to relationship with Jesus. Have a nice day.